Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a gathered skirt, but this gathered skirt has a flat front, waistband, and gathers in the back. So this is the elastic and this is just a flat front for the front of your skirt. It's really quick and easy to do. You can add pockets to it, you can add a sash, you can really just have some fun. I do recommend some lightweight fabric, so maybe a cotton, a chambray, a linen. You don't want anything that's too thick so that the gathers will be hard to pull and kind of poke out in the back. You don't want that. So something lightweight and easy to gather up. This is Justice, for those of you who don't know. Give your shirt down. She is hanging out with me today. Say, hey, sissy. Hey. You only need about a yard or yard and a half of fabric for this tutorial. For just a skirt, I used about 7/8 of a yard and it worked out fine. It all kind of depends on how big you, how much gathers you want. You don't need 2 yards of fabric, so just play around with it. But for this video, I only used 7/8 of a yard, and for the skirts I made myself, I only used a yard. So you can use that as a guide to how much that you need. I hope that you like this tutorial. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Once you have your yard of fabric, a little bit of interfacing, and your elastic, we can get started. Hey everybody, so let's go ahead and cut our fabric. So right now I have my fabric the same way I would bring it home from the store, with the fold facing me, the salvage edges together, and then the cut pieces on the side. So for this tutorial, we need to turn this to hot dog style. So go ahead and open it up and then fold it so that the raw edges are at the top, your salvage edges are on the side, and then the fold is still facing you. Once you have that all done, go ahead and smooth it out, and we need to cut 2 waistbands. We're going to cut them the same exact size. Now I'm going to cut mine 3 inches, and then I'm going to sew them with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. This right here is what I think is very customizable. If you don't want yours to be 3 inches, maybe you want it wider, go ahead and make it maybe 4 with a 1/2 inch, so then your waistband will be 3.5 inches. However you cut it, just accommodate it so that your elastic can fit through it, whether you want it snug or loose. I am doing a 3 inches again with a 1/2 inch waistband with a 1 inch elastic, and it was very snug. So go ahead and do yours. Once you have it all cut out, you should have 2 waistbands that are the exact same size. So first we're going to work on the front waistband, and we need to cut that. That's going to be half your waist measurement plus 1 for seam allowance. So I'm making this for Justice, and her waist measurement is 19. So 19 divided by 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That is what I'm marking right now. So you go ahead and use your measurements, and you're going to take your waist measurement, divide it by 2, and then add 1 for seam allowance. Once you have that, go ahead and cut your piece. So next thing, we're going to put our fabric the way it was originally, the way you bring it home, with the salvage edges at the top, your cut edges at the side, and your fold facing you. So go ahead and adjust your fabric and get it back the way it was originally. Once you have that, you're going to cut it down the side. I'm putting a snip right on the fold, and I'm going to cut that and open it up so I can have 2 pieces that's the exact same size. So go ahead and open up your fabric, and then just follow your line to the other side to give you 2 pieces that's exactly the same. So go ahead and cut yours now. Okay, so now we should have 2 pieces that are exactly the same. These are going to be the front of your skirt, the back of your skirt, and then you should also have 2 waistband pieces. One should be the exact same width as your skirt, and the other one should be half of your waist measurement plus 1. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut Justice fabric down the length of it to adjust the length. I want it to just be 9 inches long, so you can go ahead and cut yours to the length that you want it to be. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just cutting her length. I'm not messing with the width of it, on the length. Next, we need to go ahead and get our elastic measured and cut. For the elastic, I recommend cutting with half of your waist measurement minus 1 inch. However, I do want to strongly urge you to just start off with half of your waist measurement, and then once you time to feed it through your skirt, try it on and then adjust it if you need to, because I completely cut that elastic piece way too short. You'll see later in the video. And the very last thing for us to cut is one strip of interfacing. We need to interface our front waistband. So go ahead and just cut you out a piece that's the exact same as your front waistband piece. Fuse it together, and then we'll be all ready to start sewing. Okay, the first thing to do is to put gathering stitches around one piece of your skirt. So grab a piece and let's gather it. Once you're done, go ahead and take your time and pull your stitches to gather the skirt up. Like I'm doing here, I'm just pulling the back thread. Once you have it all gathered, take your front waistband piece, right sides together. We're going to pin it, and then we're going to sew that down to the skirt. So go ahead and make sure that your gathers match the waistband and pin it down. Once you're all pinned, again, right sides together, we can go ahead and sew your waistband down to the skirt. Don't forget to adjust your stitches back to a regular stitch from your basting stitch. So let's go ahead and stitch it now. Once you're all done, you want to go ahead and press your seam allowance up toward the waistband. Now take the other skirt piece and the back waistband, and we're just going to pin those together and sew those down. So go ahead and line up your pieces and start pinning them. Once you have it all pinned, we can go ahead and sew it down together. Once it's all sewn, you want to go ahead and press the seam allowance up toward the waistband like we did the front of the skirt. So what we're going to do next, we're going to pin the sides together. So put your skirt right sides together, and then you're going to pin the sides of your skirt down. So go ahead and get your pins, pin your skirt together like I'm doing here. When you're all done pinning, we can go ahead and sew the sides of our skirt down. So once you have your sides sewn together, the next thing to do is to fold over the back waistband so we can form the casing for the elastic. I am going to go back and finish my edges just so you know, but this is what all we're going to do is just fold over the elastic and then sew right on the edge of it. However, only on the back waistband, only on the back waistband. The front waistband is open. We're not going to close that yet because we need that open to feed the elastic through. So we're going to feed it through, and then once we have the elastic in, we're going to sew the elastic down in the side seams. So let's go ahead and sew down the back waistband only. Once you have your back waistband sewn down, remember the front is still open. We're going to now sift our elastic through. So go ahead and grab your elastic and just put a safety pin in it and then start sifting it through. Once you have the back end of the elastic through the casing, you don't want to push it all the way through, but once it's right there at that side seam, you want to go ahead and sew it in the Dutch to hold that in place so it doesn't move. So when you sew in the Dutch, you're just sewing in the side seam. So that's what I'm doing right now. Go ahead and sew your seam down the Dutch so that your elastic stays in place. And it should look something like this. You should be able to see a little bit of it in the front waistband, but that's fine because we're going to close that up too. So now you can just continue on sifting the rest of your elastic to the other side of your skirt. So once it's all gathered up, it should look something like this. And now we're going to sew the other side of the elastic down in the Dutch the same way we did the other side. So let's do that now. Once your elastic is in the back of your skirt, the last thing to do is to just close open the front waistband of the front of your skirt. You just fold that over and sew that down the same way we did the back. Right there, I'm chucking that short piece of elastic. I had to cut a bigger piece, and so I'm just going to repeat those steps and put it in. If I have the right size elastic in the back, I can sew down the front now. So the last thing to do is our hem. So go ahead and fold up a narrow hem, and we'll go ahead and sew that down to finish the skirt. And there you have it, your flat front waistband elastic back gathered skirt. I couldn't get Justice in these to take a photo because she's been really sick lately, but these are some skirts that I've made using this tutorial. I really like it. It's really quick and easy to do. Thank you all for watching this tutorial. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Blessings, everyone. Bye.